Hello class 11s. So this is the next video number 2 for the next topic of partnership series, types of partners, page number 94. There can be the following types of partner. There are 8 types of partner given in your book. The first is active or working partner. It is a partner who contributes the capital into the firm and work actively in the firm. He bears an unlimited liability. He is known to outsiders. He shares profit of the firm. He takes an active part in the management of the firm. He involves in the day-to-day transaction of the firm. Everybody knows the partner. Second, it is a sleeping or dormant partner. It is like a silent partner who only contributes the capital into the firm but don't take any active part in the management of the firm. He just share the profits or losses of the business. No doubt his liability is also unlimited, but he is not known to the outside world. Third, it is secret partner. This type of partner contributes capital and takes active part in the management of the firm's business. But outsider don't know the such kind of partner. His connection with the firm is not known to the outside world. However, he takes the active part in the firm's management. Okay, but behind the camera. Fourth point, limited partner. The limited partner means a partner whose liability to the extent of his share in the capital and profits of the firm. He is not entitled to take active part in the management of the firm's business. The firm is not dissolved in the event of his death, lunacy, or bankruptcy. He is a limited partner because his personal property is not liable to pay the debt of the firm. Fifth, partner in profit only. This type of partner share the firm's profit only. He will not take any loss of the firm, but his liability for the firm's debt is unlimited. He will not take part in the management of the firm also. This type of partner having a much goodwill in his name. That's why the firm join the partner for his goodwill and share the firm's profit with that kind of partner. 6 point, nominal or ostensible or quasi partner. These type of partners neither contributes capital nor take part in the management of business. He does not share in the profit or losses of the firm. He only leads his name and reputation for the benefit of the firm. Generally, he presents himself as a partner in the firm. However, he is not a partner in a firm. These kind of partners are like partner by estoppel. A person who by his word, spoken or written, or conduct represents himself as a partner becomes liable to those who advance money to the firm on the basis of such representation. For example, suppose a person named Mohan, who is not the partner in firm, a firm ABC. He is not a partner of ABC firm, but he presents himself as a partner of ABC in front of Ram. And on behalf of this statement, on behalf of this representation, Ram gives so much loan to the ABC firm. So in this case, Mohan will also responsible for the liability if firm will unable to pay back the amount to Ram. In the second case, that is partner by holding out, when a person is declared as a partner and he does not deny this even after becoming aware of it, he becomes liable to third parties who lent money or credit to the firm on the basis of such a declaration. The difference between the both partner by estoppel and partner by holding out is that in case A, that is partner by estoppel, a person who is not the partner of firm represent himself as a partner in front of a third party. But in this case, that is partner by holding out, a firm represent a outsider in front of a third party or creditor as a partner of the firm. That third party knows and aware about it, that the firm represent himself as a partner in front of the creditor, but he doesn't deny. In this case, if any creditor gives some advance to the firm or give some credit goods, then he will also be liable for the creditor. Seventh, minor as a partner. A minor is a person who has not completed 18 years of age. A minor cannot become a partner because he is not qualified to enter into a contract as per the Indian Contract 1872. However, he may be joined in the firm business for profit only. He can contribute the capital in the firm, but in this case, he will become a limited partner, and only the amount invested by him is responsible for the any debt of the firm. He is not personally liable for the debt of the firm. He cannot file a suit against the firm or its partner to get his share, except when he wants to disassociate himself from the firm. But the main condition is that after becoming a major, the minor must give a public notice within 6 months if he wants to break off his connection with the partnership firm. If he don't give the public notice within 6 months, then he will treat as a full-fledged partner in the firm after becoming his major after 6 months. The last 8th point is sub-partner. He is a third person with whom a partner agree to share his profit desired from the firm. He does not take part in the management of the firm. He is not liable for the firm's debt. You can assume that partner is a helper of a partner of the firm. Like ABC are the real partner of the firm, and Mr. X, who serves to A, is treated as sub-partner of A or sub-partner in the firm. The next topic is rights and obligation of partners. The rights of partner, duties and obligation of partners, implied authority of partners. These are not in our syllabus. However, you can read for your knowledge. The topic dissolution of partnership firm is also not in the syllabus. Settlement of accounts on dissolution not in the syllabus. Now we start again with the merits of partnership. These are some merits of partnership. We can call these merits on the basis of the comparison, on behalf of the comparison with the sole proprietorship, like easy of formation or sole proprietorship or joint stock company. As compared to sole proprietorship and joint stock company, the merits of partnerships are easy of formation. Like a joint stock company, unlike the joint stock company, the procedure for making a partnership firm is quite simple. It is inexpensive to establish and easy to operate. No legal formalities required, no legal registration required, no filing documents, etc. Second, larger financial resources. As compared to the sole proprietorship, the partnership provide you the larger capital facilities with the help of other persons. If you want to increase the size of capital, you can engage many more partners in the firm. And no doubt you can also enjoy the abilities and judgment of the other persons. That is the third point, combined ability of judgment. Fourth, direct motivation. Ownership and management of business are vested in the same person. It means जो लोग यहाँ पर बिजनेस को ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं उन्हीं ने कैपिटल भी इन्वेस्ट कर रखा है. Unlike the joint stock company, where owners and managers are the different person. So the partners self-motivated here. Close supervision. Every partner is expected to take personal interest in the affairs of business. Different partners can maintain personal contact with employees and customers. Fear of unlimited liability makes the partners cautious and avoid reckless dealing. Flexibility of operations. Partnership business is free from legal restriction and government control. Partners can make changes in the size of business, capital, managerial structure without any approval by the government. Secrecy. There is no need to show your accounts in front of public at large, like joint stock company. You can make the secret your business or business dealing, and you can also read the other topics. The 5 points are sufficient, and here the 5 points also for the demerits of partnership, like limited resources, the same case as compared to the sole proprietorship. In the partnership we have lots of resources, but as compared to the joint stock company we have very limited resources, because the number of partners are limited up to the 20, and no doubt there is unlimited liability. In case of any debt exceeds the amount of capital, it will be bear by the partners personally. And the business has uncertain life, because in case of death or insolvency of any partner among the all partners, there will be a dissolution of the firm and firm completely comes to an end. Confidence. There is a lack of confidence between partners. Unity and harmony among partners may lead to delayed decisions and inefficiency. Fifth point, risk of implied authority. Every partner is an agent of the firm. A dishonest partner may cause a great loss to the firm. And restriction on transfer of interest. If you are physically or mentally unable to attend the business, then you cannot transfer your interest to your relatives or any outsider. As compared to joint stock company, you can do so. Reduce public confidence, because there is a complete secrecy in your accounts and your business affairs. However, in between the partner's point of view, there is a lack of secrecy, because every partner has a right to know about all things about the firms. Okay, so now at the end, we will discuss about the suitability of this type of organization. Despite its weakness, partnership form of organization is suitable for small and medium-sized business, as we can see uh, in our scenario. It is highly appropriate for professional services like chartered accountants, solicitors, doctors, etc., which require pooling of specialized skills and direct contact with the clients. And you can also see in your environment, in your personal environment, personal touch, that दो या दो से ज्यादा लोग मिलकर आपस में पार्टनरशिप कर लेते हैं. हालांकि नंबर ऑफ कैंडिडेट्स वहां पर ज्यादा नहीं होते. जनरली आपने देखा होगा कि 2 या 4 लोग ही पार्टनरशिप कर पाते हैं. ओके, after it you will read in this chapter distinction between the general partnership and limited liability partnership, and comparison between the sole proprietorship and partnership. And no need to read essentials or requisites of an ideal partnership. This is the end of this chapter, partnerships. Okay, if you will have any doubt, then you can ask me in the live class. Okay, goodbye.